Hedon. Hedon is, you know, honestly, it's like a Doom Total Conversion or a mod that you could buy. You could pay for if you want to. It's available for free. I've seen it on Steam, and I'm like, wow, this says, it literally says it's a G-Doom. It's G-Doom, you know, it's made on the engine. It doesn't have any Doom parts in it, but it's like the free open source license part of the Doom engine. So I was like, okay, I'm interested in this shit, especially with the boomercore shit. I love this boomercore. Boomercore being basically old, intentionally old, like 90s, early 2000s era shooters, first-person shooters. Call of Duty, no Halo influences. And I guess no Half-Life in as well. And I would say that it has a story into it, which, you know, on Doom and stuff, you really don't expect there's much of a story. So it kind of reminds me of this game called Strafe that was also made off the Doom engine. It is not the modern Strafe. I think there's a somewhat modern Strafe that was released around 2014 or whatever, that it was like some kind of roguelike, randomly generated first-person shooter. It did. A lot of people it went through retro. It wanted to be boomercore before boomercore was a thing. It didn't know what the fuck it was supposed to be, so people didn't actually like what Strafe was. But the original Strafe was built off of Doom. You had inventories. You would talk to people and stuff like that. Hedon has something like that. And particularly toward the end of the game, the last level where you could actually talk to NPCs and you have allies and stuff, which I'm showing here. That was really good. It's really awesome, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. So hopefully Hedon 2 will have more of this final area because it was so damn fun. The problem I have with this game is that it's a little bit, I don't know. Some of the levels are great, and some of the levels aren't very good at all. Particularly the cave levels that were really claustrophobic. Actually, the first level is claustrophobic like that. It starts off as like, man, this is crappy. Actually, I didn't think it was. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but ended up liking it a lot. And a lot of Hexen type stuff where you're kind of like, well, what the fuck do I do? It's like, it's not as bad as Hexen, because Hexen is really bad because of its hub section, where you might click a switch and you go 3 levels down the line in the hub, something happens and you're kind of wandering about, not knowing what the fuck you're doing. Hedon is a little bit better about that. You do need to read, but if you're reading the little parchments or little notebooks or whatever around, they'll kind of give you hits on what you're supposed to do. And as soon as you read, it's like, okay, so I need to find this melting machine to melt this iron or whatever. And so you'll and you get a huge quest list of items, and you can just press enter on your quest item and say, and it'll kind of give you a hint, like, oh, this is an iron that needs to be forged or whatever it is. And so it's kind of this sort of bizarre. It's not a complete action game, but Doom is an action game, but it has like stories built in it. It's not really a role-playing game. It kind of does this sort of genre melting. The author says it reminds him, he was inspired by Thief in a game called Arc Fatalis. I've never played either one of them. When I play this, I'm thinking about Strafe, and I'm thinking about Hexen. That's what I think, and especially with it being on a Doom engine. Very pick up and play for anybody who's familiar with Doom. You have to reload your guns and stuff. They have alternate fires. I like the guns. I like the weapons. I like that, if you wanted to go as a melee retard, you can. It's dangerous to do that. I think they actually added a mode where it's like completely melee if you wanted to do that. The melee is like Hexen as opposed to Doom, so you have a fairly good range. So your axe is like somehow magically 10 feet long. But hey, man, that's how you would make fun melee games. Hexen 2 uses Quake, the Quake 1 engine, and then it had that, you had to be point fucking blank range on those little monsters that hit them with the melee weapons. It wasn't very good. It didn't feel as good as Hexen did, but I like the enemies for the most part. Although that thing that just flew in right here, that little kind of that ball on the screen, that's some kind of fire animal. That was some cheap shit. It reminds me of the drones on Duke Nukem 3D. You just open a door and there's like a drone, a fucking robot drone in your face. It blows up. It's like, this is some cheap shit. So I just held over the quick save key. Whenever time I had to have a fight, I'd have a quick save. And there was about 2 or 3 main boss fights. They were so long and hard that I ended up quick saving during the fight. But it had a pretty good sequence for what that was. It was pretty much like, oh, well, here's the whole damn level. that this is pretty much a boss fight. Or they had a one level, I think it was level 6. It was like half of it was boss fight, and half of it was like this weird story thing where you're going and visiting, you know, aspects of, I don't know, space and time, whatever the hell. I liked it. I like that, and I like the surprise that brought, because I was just expecting Doom with fucking Thicc Orc Girls. That's what I saw. That's what I thought I was gonna get. No, it ended up surprising me in the amount of stuff here, and you know, I liked it a whole lot. I like the variety they brought, even though there were some dud levels. Okay, so I'm gonna recommend this game. You could, I don't know where you would get the free version. I'm sure it's out there. Just type in Hedon and I don't know, ID Games, at the FTP server. I don't know, maybe. But I bought it from Steam. It runs $10 on Steam. The way he's saying is that they're going to add more and more pieces to it. He says late 2020 for you know, the second story. The way I would think about these games, like, nah, that's probably it's a load of shit. It takes a long time to get these games, especially if you're just one person essentially doing it. But, you know, if you get the Steam version, he says all the new ones that are being added to it will carry on. So it's like you're buying in however long this story was. And I did like the story. The freaking Orc Girls look like some DeviantArt shit, but apparently that's what he does. So, you know, that's what has this DeviantArt Tumblr feel to it. Hey, man, I was entranced. And so I recommend this game on a certain caveat, all right? You need to be a little bit knowing what the fuck Hexen is. A little bit when you go into levels, like, you're not just going to be here for 20 minutes. You're probably going to be here for an hour. These levels are big. There's about 10 of them. And you're going to have to sit there and kind of figure out the flow of the level, what you're supposed to do. You know, you have to make this thing or make that thing or collect this goodie or operate this switch or some shit like that. And, particularly the later half of the game I thought was better than the first half. So we are going to give it 2 paws up. Big Kitty loves Doom games. She's boomercore to the heart. And this, well, you know, hell, it's fucking Doom, but it's also not Doom. And so we're entranced as we're playing thousands and thousands of hours of Doom. And this is one of the biggest, most in-depth mods we've ever played. Big Kitty's throwing the paw up there. And, you know, Brian just likes them Thicc Orc Girls. And, you know, we didn't know that I was Brian's fetish, but apparently it is. Damn you, Brian. Why are you so weird? But throwing the paw up there. I'm guessing this is only going to be on Steam. I don't think it's on any other consoles. But it was worth the $10 that I paid for it. I paid full price. And you don't even have to pay full price if you don't want to. So, yeah, give this a run. And I'm going to play through tons and tons of more boomercore games. I picked this one because it said Doom, and it said zdoom, and I was immediately, man, I want to get that one. But there's tons of more. Most of them are early access, but you got freaking Serious Sam, you've got Postal, it's kind of the name brands, but there's a lot of other ones I've got on my wish list. Fill my wish list up with this boomercore shit, because I like these old school first-person shooters. I don't give a fuck about Call of Duty campaigns and stuff like that. So, we'll see. We'll see what's next on the list, man.